Welcome to Intentionality with Dominique, the show that helps business owners become valued and in-demand suppliers in the marketplace to scale their businesses. Let's start today's show with host and intentional connector, Dominique Simpson Milton.
Welcome to another episode of Intentionality, the show dedicated to improving the success rate of entrepreneurs and their businesses by sharing the strategies and tactics of successful suppliers. I am your host, Dominique Simpson Milton. Today's show is being brought to you by Dominion Energy and CVMSDC, also known as the Council. On today's show, we will focus on trickle-down economics and how we can elevate core competencies to make a larger economic impact. Wize Solutions is a company that has stepped out of the city and stepped out of the office to make a difference in rural communities with talent that has been underutilized. Wendy Marquez, CEO of Wize Solutions, LLC, is my guest today and is here to provide some valuable insights. Wendy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dominique. Es un gran placer estar aquí.
Yes, absolutely. So, Wendy, you could have easily retired. You had an impressive career, but you decided to take a different path instead of retirement. Why did you choose that?
So in 2017, my husband and I realized that rural communities were upset, were angry because they have been left behind. Economic growth, economic opportunities were not happening in rural communities. There was a disconnect between urban and rural.
Yes.
And so we decided that we needed to tap into the talent that existed in these rural communities by creating jobs of the future, not jobs of yesterday.
How wise of you. And then your company's name is Wize, right?
Correct.
So how wise of you. So your background was in IT. It was business?
Business.
Business. So how did you pick an IT company to get started with?
Well, one of the things that we realized, and it was an amazing trip that we had taken to Southwest Virginia with good friends of ours who own an IT business. And we were having a conversation about what we could do to help rural communities. And a friend of us said, if we are outsourcing jobs to India, to China, we're not against trade, but if we're outsourcing those jobs, why we cannot rural source technology jobs right here in the US, in rural Virginia? And so the spark started there, and then we started to do a lot of research. What will be the ideal community? What will be the ideal place? And we traveled throughout rural Virginia. And we selected Avondale for several reasons. Avondale, Virginia. It's a beautiful place, but there are many good universities and schools in the region. And so we thought that we could tap into the talent that was graduating from those schools.
So two things you did. You found an underserved population who wasn't getting work, right?
Correct.
And by finding work for them, you change the economic landscape of that community. That's trickle-down economics. People need to understand it. Every time you employ somebody who was not employed before, they now can buy goods and services, pay taxes, put their kids through college. That's trickle-down economics. But then you also did a second thing. You tapped into that talent in those universities to keep them in Virginia. Because a lot of times that talent will pick up and move and leave the state. So then the state ends up losing their talent.
Correct. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that the young graduates were staying in their hometowns. Many of them did not want to move to Northern Virginia or Richmond. Many wanted to stay in their hometowns. And not only we tap into the talent, but we tap into that commitment that they have to serve their communities. So we're a very community-focused IT solutions company.
Genius. So now break it down for our viewers to explain exactly what you do. Because everybody says I'm an IT solutions company, right? So what exactly do you do?
Great question. We're very focused on intelligent automation through AI, data analytics, and generative AI, plus RPA, robotics process automation. We can provide solutions to clients that are cost and operational effective.
Okay. Now, are you putting people to work kind of like a staffing company in these organizations?
Well, we started as a staff company at the beginning.
Okay.
But then since then, we've been migrating into being a consulting firm.
Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning, it was a bit challenging for people to give us an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because they say, first of all, you have never done IT. My husband was a very successful business owner, but he also does not have an IT background. What we were very fortunate in, as you know, all business owners understand that they have to hire the right people.
People, that's the number one solution, people.
People, exactly. And once you have the right people, you have to treat your people well. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have done from the start. We want to make sure that everyone that works for Wize Solutions has great benefits, but also an opportunity to serve their community. In addition to 2 weeks of vacation that we provide them, they also get a week paid off for anyone who is interested in supporting a not-for-profit in their region. And we also, as a team, are very involved in various community efforts. For example, one of the things that we do from the onset that we started the business, we provide food for children who are food insecure. This is something that the entire team gets involved. Every month, we deliver hundreds of meals to children in the region.
Okay, all right, excellent. So I want to get back to the business because it is important to have that work culture. And I did a whole show on that, having the great work culture so that translates over to your customers. Correct. But I want to get back to how you train these employees in the rural communities. How did you, what was the learning curve like and how you trained them and then kept them as your team members?
Wonderful question. We started with seasoned employees, people who had 10 plus, 20 plus years of experience.
Okay.
And then underneath, we brought in recent college graduates. And so people who had many years of experience became mentors. And we work with the local universities. For example, an area that we do a lot of great work to many clients is intelligent automation. So we talk to the local schools and say, we need graduates with these specific skills. And so we have a great partnership with the schools in the region.
Excellent. So what's been your key to success?
Our key to success has been our perseverance. We never give up and deliver above and beyond the line of duty. I have to tell you that I'm very blessed because we have a fantastic team. Everyone that works at Wize Solutions understands that it's very important to think about our clients first. And we do everything in our power to deliver above and beyond expectations.
I love that. And I was trying to teach my daughter that she just started her first job. And I said, she said, what do I need to do to be successful? I said, do much more than what they ask you to do,
Correct.
Right? They want you to do X, Y, and Z,
Correct.
Right? Do more than what you're asked, right?
Correct.
Excellent, excellent. So tell me about the trajectory, right? So the day that you started, you might have been X, I don't want to get into the dollars and cents, but you were at X level. How long did it take you to get to the level that you wanted, or are you there yet?
Well, great question. I don't think that we're there yet, but when we started with 4 members of our team.
4 people?
4, and now we're 40.
Wow.
I envision the day that we will get to 100, and that to us is a critical point in the company.
So you went from 4 people to 40 very quickly.
Yes.
Okay. Hurdles. What are the challenges that you faced?
The challenges was major challenge for us was to get clients to give us an opportunity. Many people who we met at the beginning were reluctant to work with a new IT solutions company. Mm-hmm. That many people in the IT industry are risk adverse.
Sure.
We were very blessed in our case because Dominion Energy saw an opportunity to focus on one of their core values, community values, which is create economic development in rural communities. So our missions were aligned, and they understood exactly what we wanted to do. And so throughout several meetings that we had, we found an area where they needed support and assistance, which was with robotic process automation. And we started with 1 person, and then little by little, the team has grown to now we have 15 people delivering intelligent automation. It's not just RPA work, but it's now intelligent automation. And that set the stage for us.
Excellent. What about your niche? What would you say your niche is?
Our niche is intelligent automation.
Intelligent automation.
So AI, so we're very focused in everything that has to do with intelligent automation and AI.
And you're bilingual.
I'm bilingual.
Is your team bilingual?
No, my team is not bilingual, but some of them do want to learn Spanish, and some of them communicate with me in Spanish.
Okay, but that's a benefit to your clients that you're bilingual.
Correct.
And you provide services here in the United States. Are all of your team members here in the United States?
Yes.
In the rural communities?
In a rural community.
That's another benefit.
Correct. We were very blessed, I have to tell you, because when we first started, one of the major challenges that we had is that many clients, potential clients, wanted members of our team to be working at their offices. COVID hit, and we were perfectly positioned to deliver the work remotely. Many companies were scrambling, having to figure out how they were going to do this work. We were perfect positioned to do the work remotely.
Excellent. And that makes a huge difference, right? And so for our viewers, no matter what business you're in, you need to have a contingency plan. Correct. We call this emergency plan that's on the shelf. So if you're not remote already, figure out what you need to do to be remote if you have to go to a remote situation.
Correct.
So kudos to you. So now when I look at your website, Wendy, right, and I hear you talking, I hear about the success, what is it that we can't see that you want viewers to know, business owners to know? What's hidden behind there?
Well, what I would like for people to see is the tremendous talent and resource that exists in these rural communities. Many people tend to overlook rural populations. And I have to tell you that we could not be where we are if it were not because of the commitment, the talent that exists in these rural communities. And so I'm very grateful every day for the team that works at Wize Solutions.
Very good, very good. And so, we have the students there working. You've been able to bring some talent in from the rural communities that was untapped before, right? You have a fabulous team, great benefits, American-based. Where do you see the future in your business? What's going to happen with IT and automation?
Well, if you are not right now as a business looking at AI solutions, you are not doing your company and the team that is working for you a favor. I mean, you have to start looking at the tremendous potential that exists within AI. Everybody's afraid of AI. Everybody's trying to understand it. But there's nothing to be afraid of. I think what we need to understand from the get-go is, okay, how are we going to put guardrails in place that will provide us the security that we need so we will not be opening ourselves for any cyber attacks.
Right.
And so companies need to create AI councils from the get-go. Start talking about, okay, what do we want to accomplish with AI? What is it that we want to do? And having those conversations early on is very important.
And that's when they need to call Wize Solutions.
Exactly.
Right. So there are a lot of people very fearful of AI, right? They don't understand how they can harness the technology to catapult their business.
Correct.
And you can help them with that.
We can help them with that. And we've been doing this for several years. We've been saving our clients millions of dollars, and we have made them more effective. AI can do that for you. Just to give you a couple of examples, hospitals, healthcare companies can benefit from AI by providing a bot that will communicate with their patients 24/7, remind them on when to take their medication, answer basic healthcare questions, remind them when they can, when they need to make an appointment. Legal firms can benefit from AI by creating a repository of information that can provide them very quickly access to information that will help them be prepared for their legal cases.
So yeah, that's excellent. And also AI can help your small company look huge.
Correct.
Right. It gives you those extra resources. And so, I love success stories. My viewers love success stories. Tell us your favorite client success story.
My favorite client success story is Dominion Energy. I have to tell you that when we first started with Dominion, they understood what we were trying to do, our mission of the company, creating jobs, bringing jobs to rural communities. But obviously, being a small business, they were very supportive, and it was a partnership. There were little glitches at the beginning here and there, but they were willing to find a way to resolve them. And I think that many corporations, particularly large corporations, are afraid of working with the small businesses.
Yes.
Because they say, oh, they're not going to deliver. But if you approach the relationship as a partnership, like Dominion Energy did, we are partners in this. And I have to tell you, we encounter many situations where large consulting firms have done the work and they have not done a good job.
Because they didn't develop that relationship.
They did develop the relationship. But yet, commercial companies are willing to give large companies, large consulting companies, a chance, even though sometimes they don't deliver because they're large and they feel like, oh, they have the infrastructure.
Absolutely.
But if a small business makes a small mistake, oh, it's the end of the world.
It's the end of the world. Then you get marked, right? You don't want to hire those small consultants. But you've proven yourself, right? So you got in, you proved yourself, and then you continue to gain contacts with Dominion.
Correct.
Which we are thankful to be a sponsor of this series. So what advice would you give to a business owner starting out and trying to get a contract with a large company? I always tell them, hey, you have to have small contracts while you're waiting for those big contracts because it could take years. But what advice would you give them?
I agree with that. Small contracts, but I have to tell you, persistence. You have to constantly be top of mind. You have to constantly be calling. We had several meetings with Dominion Energy, several, not one. So don't expect that your first meeting is going to be it. I mean, I've been blessed because God has made me a very persistent, tenacious person, and I do not give up. And the reason why I do not give up is because I know that what I do, I'm in charge of business development at my company. What I do has a tremendous impact in the lives of the people that work for me, but also in the community that we're trying to serve. So if you have the passion, if you believe in what you're doing, you have to understand that giving up is not an option.
I love that. I love that. It gets back to trickle-down economics, right? Because when you don't give up, you help those communities and you put people to work, and now they're able to put their kids through college and create a whole nother cycle. So I love that you're real persistent. And you said it didn't take one appointment or two appointments. It took multiple appointments with Dominion. And I always say, when somebody says no, that's the beginning of the sales process. That is when you really have to start working. But if you stay persistent, the end results come.
Correct. I'm going to give you an example. I am trying to go after the federal government. And I've been focused on the USDA, the Department of Agriculture. I've been working on this for 3 years. I still have not been able to secure a contract, but I am undeterred. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue. And that's the mindset that you have to have.
There you go. There you go. I love that mindset. I love your tenacity.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success. Thank you for helping out in the rural communities and bringing that talent to work and changing the economic structure. Congratulations to you and much success in Wize as you continue on.
Muchas gracias.
So one last question for you. Are you going to BOC 24?
Por supuesto. Of course, I will be there, and I want to quiero invitar a todos los latinos que están en la área de Virginia, en Carolina, que vengan a este evento, porque nos beneficiamos tremendamente, porque es una oportunidad de conocer a clientes, futuros clientes, y también para aprender de cada uno de nosotros. So I certainly hope that all of you can join us, and I would love to have all the Latino business owners and business women to come and join us on that day.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for being here on the show today.
You're welcome.
If you're interested in more information, please call Wendy at 301-928-2211. Well, that concludes today's episode of Intentionality. Be sure to join me for our next episode. And remember that you must always remain intentional to gain knowledge, skills, and connections so we can grow and thrive in business together. I'm Dominique Simpson-Milton, and I will see you next time.
This has been another episode of Intentionality with Dominique, brought to you by the CVMSDC. For more information, please visit cvmsdc.org.